Hello, viewers. Thanks for watching my show, MAO Chat. My show gives Miss America volunteers and fans the opportunity to get to know title holders, as well as gives title holders the opportunity to share their social impact initiatives and what's going on in their lives. My name is Jason Robinson. I am an educator, a journalist, and a Miss America volunteer, and I'm so excited to have our guest for today. My guest for today is Miss America 2013, Mallory Hagan. Welcome, Mallory. Thanks for being on my show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be
I'm
here.
so excited to talk to you. I'm awestruck talking to you. When I advertised that I was having you on my show, a lot of people had an amazing reaction. Lee Spino said, so cool. Abigail Gibson said, so excited. And Charles O'Quinn said, I love her. She's one of my faves. So a lot of people love you. And actually, I'll say as a judge, I've asked girls, who's your favorite Miss America? And many people have said you because they felt like you were relatable and approachable and everything. So thanks for everything you have done. So my first question is, can you tell us about your background and how you got involved in pageants?
Oh, sure. Well, I think I'm a bit of an anomaly in the Miss Americas of recent years in that I got involved in the Miss America organization at the ripe age of 13 in the
Okay.
very first teen competition that existed.
Wow.
Yeah, so before the national teen competition even happened, Alabama had adopted the teen program, and so I got involved my first year. I had no idea what I was doing. Participate. And she really asked me to do it because I had a talent. My mom
Okay.
owns a studio.
Right.
She's 27th year of
Wow.
in Opelika, Alabama. But yeah, I did it and I got third runner up out of
Okay.
40 something girls. And so
Wow.
that started me on a path. I was a runner up the next year. I was first runner up, second runner up
Mm-hmm.
in Miss Alabama, and so on and so forth. First runner up twice in Miss New York before I won.
Yeah.
So got involved at 13 because I had a talent, and of course I stayed involved for a variety of reasons after that.
Very cool. And I've actually judged in Alabama. I judged in Opelika and I judged in Dothan and things like that. Yeah, cool. So I was actually at Miss New York when you were crowned. I used to live in Virginia and DC, and I was at Miss New York when you were crowned. And you said you were first runner up, and you won Miss New York. So I want to take you back down memory lane. We're gonna play the Miss New York crowning video, and if you could just try to think about what you were feeling and thinking in that moment, and then we'll talk about how you were feeling. So here's the crowning of Mallory Hagan when she was crowned Miss New York.
We're getting close. Your second runner-up and winner of a $4,000 scholarship presented by Miss New York's Outstanding Teen Pageant is Nina Delores, Greater Rochester.
At time, the first runner-up received a $5,000 scholarship presented by the Office of the Borough President of Staten Island. And Miss New York 2012 receives a $10,000 scholarship presented by Project Empower. So, the first runner-up and winner of the $5,000 scholarship presented by the Office of the Borough President is Katie Berry.
All right. So if you can think back and remember, how did it feel being crowned Miss New York?
Oh man, I don't know why. I've seen that 1,000 times. I just kind of got emotional. I, you can see the look on my face. Like Nina Davalori is standing next to me.
Right.
I can't comprehend what she's saying. I think I was literally about to throw up, to be honest. And then finally hearing my name called, it was really surreal. It was 11 years of hard work from 13 to 20.
Right.
And I feel that I was, it was the right time. I competed. She won Miss New York. I was first runner up. She went on to do tremendous things with her time in that role. And so did Caitlin Monty, who won the next year.
Right.
Some people understand why things are happening in life, right?
Yeah.
Years of being first runner up, I walked off stage and I was like, forget it. I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
And then, I won. And so it was just all of those emotions rolled into one, and just so much gratitude for the people who had helped me get there. and really understanding the weight of what that meant, and that I had a responsibility to do something with that title throughout the year, and I took that very seriously. So so it was a great moment, and I know my family was really happy too.
Very, very cool, because I know some girls, get discouraged because it takes a while and everything like that. I want to talk about style for a minute. The dress you wore at Miss America, the white gown that you wore and you were crowned, that was an amazing dress. So let's talk about, where did you shop, or how did you choose that gown?
Well, first and foremost, we know that the Miss America organization runs off of people who pour into the women who win, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Magnificent Apparel is or was the sponsor for the Miss New York organization at the time. And they gave me quite a hefty allowance for my gown. And it's a really story. I was shopping at the teen competition that year where many girls go and work with regalia. And I tried on every dress in there twice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling it. And then I put on that dress, the $400 off the rack Juan Carlos, and I just fell in love. There was something about it. I was very adamant that I wanted like a mixture of old Hollywood glam with modern edge, and I just felt that that dress was one that I would still love looking at
Mm-hmm.
when I was 8. And that was important to me, that I wanted to not look back and go, oh, what was the style? And instead go, wow, that's timeless, right? And so that's kind of how I chose it. It was the point of contention between me and my board for a little while, but eventually I was like, hey guys, I've made the decision. This is what I'm wearing. So let's move on.
Very, very cool. All right. So you prepared, you went to Miss America. How were you feeling at Miss America? Were you like confident? Were you like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen?
No, the variety of emotions that go on in your brain during that week stem from I can do this to why am I so crazy to think I can do this. And I had all of those, but I feel so lucky. The women I competed with, the class of 2012 going into Miss America 2013, they were just really awesome, and they still are. We had a great time. We bonded. All of us are still friends, close, in weddings and the whole nine, the things that you hear about in Miss America. My class is the epitome of. And so we had a great time throughout the week. I have to tell you, I was pretty convinced that Laura McKeeman was going to win. And I think that her career now speaks for itself, that, she does have that it factor. She's on national television every day. And I had no idea what was coming. And not many people know that I snuck my cell phone backstage.
Oh.
Spent approximately an hour in one of the porta potties behind Planet Hollywood, crying and like, what am I doing, to Claire and to my parents and to really anyone who would listen. I think I was just so freaked out the day of finals. And in hindsight, I think it was a little bit of subconscious, like my life is about to change. I was like freaking out, but I didn't really know why in that moment. So roller coaster of emotions, folks.
I can imagine. Yeah, I want to watch that video, and I remember just seeing the look of shock on your face when you won. So let's watch it for the audience. Let's revisit. Here's the crowning moment of Miss America 2013, Mallory Hagan.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, your new Miss America is Miss New York. Miss America, the stage is yours.
Do you ever watch those moments, or has it been like years and years and years since you've watched that stuff?
Oh no, my friends think it's hilarious to torture me with that on a regular basis. Wow, that's you can see the roller coaster of emotions across my face just when that happened. That's so funny. Not many people know, the year before Laura Kepler, when she won, hadn't worn waterproof mascara, much like me right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this is a testament to how much I didn't think I was going to win. I didn't wear waterproof mascara either. And so she walked up and I was like, I'm not wearing waterproof mascara. I was so tickled by, I was like, I don't want my makeup to run like yours did. She was like, you're around.
So, of course, you work with the Children's Miracle Network, and you also had your personal platform. I believe it was Child Sex Abuse Prevention.
It was called Stop It Now, Child Sexual Abuse.
Okay, yeah. Can you talk about something that you've done with that, just a memory from that time working with your platform?
Absolutely. My time as Miss America was really the time, I had found my voice and that I wasn't afraid to share my opinions or to express myself to other people. But my time as Miss America really showed me how powerful that voice could be. Mm-hmm. And how the role of Miss America or a state title holder or even a local title holder can be one that's a force for good, really. Right. And during my time as Miss America, I worked with several different organizations. I worked with Prevent Child Abuse America to launch their national pinwheel campaign in Times Square. So if you guys are ever around during Child Abuse Prevention Month, which is April, and you see a pinwheel that's meant to bring awareness to child abuse, I worked with the National Children's Alliance, and we lobbied Congress for funding. In the 2014 budget, we reinstated $14 million in funding for our child advocacy centers across the country that year. And I also worked with the National Child Advocacy Center that's located, actually, I just moved right next door to Huntsville. So it's located in Huntsville. It's the first co-located child advocacy center in the country, and it sets the example for what our child advocacy centers should look like. Right. I did quite a bit of work throughout the year that I felt was meaningful with my platform, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to continue doing that since then.
Cool. I've taught at a prison for about 4 years, and I just learned that child sex trafficking happens. I've learned of guys who are in there who exploit children, and it's really a sad thing that's happening, but it's really good, the work that you've done with that.
Yeah, I didn't mention them, but I did work with the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children during my years in Miss America as well. And they work tirelessly to combat trafficking and really work towards internet safety for young people.
Right. All right. So since you were crowned Miss America, the lifestyle and fitness category has been eliminated from the competition. How did you feel about that category being eliminated?
Oh, well, I think everybody knows at this point, if you're a fan of Miss America, that I've been a proponent of this category, making its exit over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And I still feel that way. I do think that we as an organization need to find some sort of health component to bring back in, whether that's a national partner or something of that degree. But I just feel as though I know too many women in this program who have walked away and not to mentally and emotionally move on from that time in a way that's healthy. And so I do believe that lifestyle and fitness is very important. I think it should be a component of what every candidate for Miss America is doing, because you ultimately can't do the job of Miss America unless you have the stamina to do so. But I'm happy to see that it's not a category by which the women are judged to do a job that's focused on service and scholarship.
Interesting. And when I interviewed Olivia McMillan, Miss America's Outstanding Teen 2015. Yeah, I told you that we talked about what happened after you were crowned, when you were on the beach in a swimsuit. And I believe TMZ published a story about Miss America in a swimsuit, and it was very degrading. And I remember when I saw it, I was shocked that someone would say certain things. But what was your reaction to that, that whole story when you found out that TMZ was talking about you in a swimsuit in an unflattering way?
Well, interestingly enough, the national reaction to that was quite positive. The population was like, this is a non-story. What are we talking about? What was shocking to me, but I guess in the same vein, not surprising, was that it was really a lot of the MAO community and the pageant world at the time that were really harsh. And to me, that speaks volumes to why something like swimsuit probably shouldn't be it's something that the women in this program are subject to. You know, we in competing over the course of 11 years, I heard it all. If you would have lost 10 pounds, you would have won. I crowned the other girl because she came swimsuit ready and you still had work to do. Like all of these things that I think sit with you in your brain when you're a woman and someone says, you know, you still need to lose 7 pounds to be worthy of this job or this title, it sticks with you for quite some time. So the national general public's reaction to that time frame was really positive. People were very supportive. It was our internal community, I think, that was quite harsh. And I also saw it as a huge opportunity. It gave me a chance just a few months after being crowned to go back on all of the national media shows and talk positivity and encourage young women to be their best selves, but to not focus so much on that. So I took it as a positive in the opportunity to join that conversation when it was just a budding one before, you know, Ashley Graham and Iskra Lawrence and these models that are body positivity models. Before they even were at the forefront, we were having that conversation here with Miss America, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I remember I was just in shock when that happened. I remember I saw an interview with you later, and I thought you handled it very, very well in your interview. I couldn't imagine something like that being like a news story about me or so. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's just crazy.
It is a wild thing to think about, and especially when I look back at photos of me in that time, and I'm like, I was so far from that.
Yeah, exactly. So you ran for Congress. Can you talk about your Congress run, and will you run? Do you think you'll run again?
Oh, for sure. I'll run for something at some point. I think, you know, one of the things that we have failed to market for many, many, many years is that Miss America is the first women's leadership program. You know, now over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen these programs pop up that teach women how to embark on leadership roles or to run for office. Miss America's been doing that for a really long time. So I feel grateful for my time in the program because I feel like it really prepared me to run for office. But you know, I was asked to run by people in my hometown, in my community, and really they just are craving change. Our current congressman, where I lived when I ran, had been in office for 16 years at the time, hadn't really done much, wasn't really present in the community, and they were craving that. And so it was just one of those moments that's, you know, if not me, then who?
Right.
If no stepping up to run, then I certainly will be the one to do that. And it was the greatest experience I've ever had in my life, and to this date, the thing I am most proud of.
Cool. Yeah, one of the Miss America fans, I think Charles O'Quinn, one of them said, "We need you in Congress, so please run again."
Well, I will run for something again. I don't know if it'll be Congress here soon, but thank you for that note of encouragement.
Cool. All right, so Miss America 2.0. Miss America has changed. You know, we have elimination of swimsuit. There's been a lot of changes, you know, the last few years. What are your overall thoughts about just the transition from the original to what we have now, 2.0?
Well, I think it's really important to continue noting that Miss America has been changing.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't the first time that we have added a category or changed scoring or taken something away or tried something new on the telecast. This has been going on for many, many, many years. And I am proud that the new direction of MAO is to really highlight and showcase the work that the women in this program are doing in their communities. I don't actually think that the job of Miss America has changed. I don't think anything about what these women are doing on their day-to-day journey to Miss State or to Miss America has changed. I think we're trying to do a better job as a program of highlighting the other 364 days of the year and really helping people understand that it's not just one night and one competition, but it's a grassroots organization where women across the country are dedicating their year to service and earning scholarships along the way. And so I think that we've struggled a little bit over the last couple of years. It'd be a lie to say otherwise. And I think that we have great work to do in rebuilding trust in our community. And I look forward to seeing the day that happens. But every transition, every change is difficult. We just happen to be having this one in the age of information and social media.
Right.
That adds to, you know, the ways that things are happening, the way that things are happening. And yeah, so I think that we're going to get through this, and I look forward to seeing the tremendous things that women in this program do for the next 100 years.
Right. Yeah. I just learned that there used to be like a casual wear category for a little while, and they took that away, and I think a lot of people didn't like that either.
There's been all sorts of wacky stuff that the telecast has brought on, and it's changed over the years, so we'll get through this change too.
Yeah.
It's just everybody really focusing in on the mission, and the mission has
Mhm.
always been to empower young women to be their best selves, and that part hasn't changed at all.
So if I could just pick your brain a little bit more, can you name some things that you would like to see, that you think you might like to see? And then also I'm curious about, you said building trust in the community. Is there something you think we can do to build trust in the community?
Yeah, well, I first and foremost, I would like to see something that I'm actively working to implement, which is a professional development series.
Mhm.
In the history of Miss America, we have not spent a lot of time, or not we, I haven't been the whole history of Miss America, but in the history of Miss America, the national office and national leadership has never really spent any time communicating with local title holders or providing something on the national scale that's cohesive across the country.
Mhm.
That's, I venture to say, almost never happened. And so a professional development series is in the works. I'm sure you saw that the girls did a social media webinar where they got the chance to interact with myself and Chantel. And that professional development series is on the way. So once a month, our candidates across the country will get direct communication with the national office. They will get a opportunity to learn from someone that's in a field that's an executive. And I think that that's a really great first step in providing something outside of just the competition to our local candidates that is tangible, that they can walk away and say, this is something I learned in the last hour. And then as far as rebuilding trust, I think that our current CEO, Chantel Krebs, and she's our board chair as well,
Mhm.
is doing a really great job trying to make outreach to our stakeholders and letting them know information before it becomes public. Really taking in their input as changes are occurring. As you all know, the Miss America competition is not happening this year. And so this is a great opportunity to really listen, to really hear what our state organizations are saying, and to implement changes that are going to make our state executive directors' lives easier, our local directors' lives easier,
Mhm.
and to really spend some time thinking about the diversity, equity, and inclusion of Miss America in this time in history. And so I'm proud that the DEI task force has been reinstated, and I
Uh-huh.
look forward to the work that they're going to do too. So there's a lot of things in the works. There's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes to bring Miss America into 2020, just from a functional standpoint.
Right.
I'm proud that work is happening, and I look forward to the many things that will grow out of that as well.
Very cool. You've answered like so many of my future questions, and you touched on so much because a lot of people were concerned about transparency, and just listening, and you touched on a lot of that. As far as Miss America, the 100th anniversary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think it's really important. We hear this word a lot, but there aren't a whole lot of times in the history of Miss America that I'd like to go back to as far as leadership and transparency.
Right.
I think we have to put things in perspective as they happen and remember that for a lot of people, this transition is new territory.
Mhm.
And I really hope that they'll continue to give Chantel the chance to do that with them.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure we all want Miss America to succeed. I know that they were asking for donations, and people like me donated. Like, we all just want it to succeed, and we want like an amazing 100th anniversary. Do you have any like insight to what might happen in the next one? I'm sure people will wonder, like, what's the next pageant going to or competition going to be like? Do you have anything that you can tell us?
I don't. I haven't had really any input. That's not my arena. In my capacity with the organization, I'm there basically part-time, and I haven't had any input in the telecast or the broadcast ever before, and I doubt I will. I doubt I will this year either. But I hope that it turns out to be everything that we all want it to be, which is a true celebration of the women who have built this organization, and the volunteers and the people who have really poured into it for 100 years.
Cool. I think I only have one more question. You competed in Alabama, and you were successful, always a top 5 type girl, and you compete in New York, you won Miss America, so if you've been successful. So my question is, what advice would you give to girls who are competing today, girls who are, hoping to win their state titles and go to Miss America? If anything, just general advice for being successful, what would you tell them?
My advice for being successful is to know yourself inside and out. That's the only way that you can truly be who you are. And that's the only way that you can walk into an interview room or walk across the stage and be 100% confident in what you bring to the table. It's also the only way that you can find peace when you don't win. Mm-hmm. So if you do the work to explore what you believe, why you believe it, and really hone in on the skills that are necessary in order to share what you believe and why you believe it, then I guarantee you'll be much more at peace with your lose, and you'll be much more successful because you'll be comfortable with who you are and what you're presenting to the people that are in front of you. And also just remember, this thing is 100% subjective. Seriously different day, different judges. It could be a whole different outcome. And that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes too.
That's very true. That's something to keep in mind. So I want to thank you for your time. I genuinely appreciate talking to you. I hope that many people enjoy, and I think they will enjoy the show. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good run for whatever you run for, and hopefully one day I would love to meet you, maybe at Miss America one day.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this and giving people the opportunity to hear from title holders. It's really fun to listen to what they have to say, and I appreciate you giving them yet another outlet to do that, especially in this time where all of us are hopefully still at home.
Right. All right. Thanks a lot, and have a good evening.
Bye.
All right. I would like to thank my sponsors, Sarah Gray Zeller, Renee Brown, Thomas May, Stanley Taylor, Scott Benton, and my anonymous sponsors. My show next week, the guest will be Miss America 1999, Nicole Johnson. You can reach me by email, jasontimothy.robinson@gmail.com. Look me up on Facebook in my group, MEO Chat. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my show. And everybody, I hope you have a good day.